Good evening, everybody. Kalispera. All right, I've given that alone is a tiny hint of where this week's poem and video is going. This is my first line poet's piece for the month of November, and my partner is Shireen writes. She gave me the first line for this poem, and it goes something like this. I close my eyes and dream of summer, and instantly I'm back in Santorini, the blue skies and the golden sunshine, sailing around the islands in good company, a reward after completing a marathon trip around Greece. The only care I have aboard the catamaran is wondering, do I want beer, wine, or water? As I lay out on the netting, soaking up the sunlight shimmering off the Aegean Sea, nothing's bothering me. I'm free. I dream of summer, even in the autumnal splendor, as the shorter days lead to the long winter. My mind wanders back here daily, to the idyllic waters of Thera. So yes, as I mentioned, the first line for this piece was, I close my eyes and dream of summer. I knew from the moment that I got the DM with the first lines that this one was going to be the one that I would run with, and I knew exactly where to go with this piece, because when I think of summer, I still think of myself back on the catamaran sailing around Santorini, specifically the last full day of the trip. The first half of the day was spent on the catamaran, and it was just between moving around the boat, seeing the views of the sea, the two swim stops where I felt enough nerve to get rid of my t-shirt and just go into the water bare chested and not have an iota of self-consciousness or worry about what everyone was going to think of my body. It felt liberating, although I probably wish I knew how to had a better idea of how to swim. I would have gotten a bit farther than just the bars on the back of the boat. But yeah, it like when I think of summer, my head instantly goes back there. Just lying out in the sun with a beer in hand, soaking up the sunlight, soaking up the sea. That sense of reward after a long 13 days in Greece, traveling the mainland, climbing all those hills, all those steps, the early morning the early morning trip from our hotel in Athens to Heraklion by flying by air to Crete, the bumpy ferry ride, and another early morning from Crete to Santorini. It just felt like on the islands, like time seemed to slow down after the mainland leg of the trip went by so quickly. I mean, that probably was just me getting adjusted to the 7 hour time difference between New York and Greece. But that 14-day trip was so resonant that even now, heading towards the end of November, December, it still resonates in my mind. I mean, part of me part of me still, part of me still there, honestly. Even though my mind and body have returned back to the States, my body and soul are still on the island. And it was that like thought of that peaceful thought of thought of mind that led me to write this poem. I had been looking for that peace of mind every day since coming back to New York, and it's come out in several and this experience has come out in several poems, including this one. And who knows, maybe the trip, and I wouldn't bet on the trip coming back up to mind again in some way, shape, or form in the year ahead. But this is probably the last time this year, probably, because we still have the year end, all the year end review stuff to come at the end of December. This is probably the last time, at least for right now, that I'm going to that this trip is going to be the creative focus of my work. Again, the door is still open to like revisit this moment in time. But for now, that's whenever I dream of summer, I think of Santorini. Well, everyone, I hope all of you have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you guys again next week. Good night, everybody.